most influential, wealthiest black voices in this country are basketball players. And could their voices and resources be best served on the front lines, either literally or figuratively, of this movement rather than playing basketball? I don't think it's a ludicrous notion. Now, I also understand the counter argument, not to both sides of this, but I do think there's legitimate arguments on both sides of it, that for guys that don't quite have the profile of a Kyrie or certainly of a LeBron or Kevin Durant or Giannis, the biggest stars in the league, the best way they can have a platform is by playing, is by the league or the world seeing them, and whatever measures they choose to discuss in post-game interviews, whatever form those come in during this, kind of odd restart, or things they do on the court as far as symbolically. If you made the argument the best way for people to be focused on the NBA and what the players think needs to happen is by playing games, that's a legitimate argument too. So there are compelling arguments on both sides of this, but I can't just listen to the message on this one. To me, the messenger matters at least somewhat. And it's not just that Kyrie is a different type of cat, to put it, I think, most charitably. It's that this was not seemingly top of mind for Kyrie a week prior to him leading the charge on the NBA not playing. I know in coronavirus time, our timelines are all screwed up. We don't know what day it is. But let me lay out the timeline. May 25th, George Floyd was murdered. May 29th is when the president sent out the looting starts, shooting starts tweets. June 3rd, Drew Brees gave his initial comments on the anthem. So this story had moved that far in that short period of time. On June 5th, Kyrie was on a conference call with a bunch of other guys where they voted unanimously to resume the season, where Kyrie is one of 6 NBPA vice presidents, one of the highest ranking people on the call. And according to Woj, on that call, the biggest concerns he brought up was, would he be able to use the sauna, and would alcohol be provided? And so that isn't to say the concerns he brings up now are unwarranted, because I think they are legitimate concerns. But we were in the midst of this moment on June 5th when Kyrie did not seem to be willing, as he evidently said, give everything he has up for social reform. So I'd also be very interested to see what moved Kyrie so much in the week between June 5th and this past Friday to where he seems to be leading a charge for everyone not to play basketball wilds.
Yeah, Nick, I tried to read as much as I could and listen to as much as I could this weekend. And I've said it before on the show, when Steven Jackson talks, I listen. And Steven loves the NBA more than anyone. And he said it's not a time to play. And it really, that one hit me harder, and it made me really think, because I understand the platform of the NBA. Of course, I produced the NBA for years. I know that 30 million people watch the NBA Finals. I know that commercials cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get messages out during the NBA. But when Steven said that, it made me pause, and it made me think. And I understand that we are at a critical moment in this nation's history, and the national consciousness is focused on police brutality and systemic racism. And I understand that the idea that anything outside of that is a distraction. I think it's a valid point. I think that we've seen amazing flexibility and creativity from the league in getting this restart.